Aloha, offline sharks. How we doing, everybody? Welcome to the Friday Marketing Aloha Jam Session. I'm Tom Gaddis. Nick Ponte hanging out in the big state of Texas, where everything is bigger. So this will be an even bigger live show. Welcome, everybody. Excited you're here. Sorry we got started a few minutes late. We were trying to get some things organized in the background, but glad you're here. Glad you decided to join us. We have a great show lined up for you. We're going to talk about increasing your income without getting more clients, without doing a lot of the other stuff. And it's going to be a good live show. It's just Nick and I, no secret guest today. I'm going to go ahead and cue the intro, and then we'll get back here and dive right in.
Let's do it.
Ready for the fastest 60 minutes of strategies and tactics to build your remote business from anywhere in the world? It's now time, the moment you've been waiting for. After 167 agonizing hours, they've returned. Now, back for a brand new Sharks Live show. It's your hosts, the Offline Sharks, Tom Gaddis and Nick Ponte.
Oh, thank you, everybody. Thank you. Listen to that applause. I hope everybody out there is fired. Are you fired up? If you're fired up, put it in the chat. Look at that. That's Texas for Aloha. He said howdy. That's Texas for Aloha, Nick.
You ever had one of those?
Yeah, we had those in Maui. Remember at the little taco place?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Man, these are amazing.
Yeah, they're really great. What's up, Cameron? It's so weird. I felt like really off all day today because we didn't do our weekly huddle because we did it on Tuesday. So like I kept thinking all this morning, I was like, I know I'm missing something. I'm forgetting something. Like when your routine gets disrupted, you're like, anyway.
Yeah.
How's Austin so far?
It's good. My brother and his wife and niece and nephew are here in from out of town, which is kind of the reason why I had to move our huddle today, the other day, because, family planning, family trips, right? So we had we went to like a miniature horse ranch petting zoo thing. I don't know what it was.
Did you get some pictures of you petting the horse? Did you get a picture of you riding a miniature pony? If you did, I will fall over. That's great.
No, I didn't. I didn't ride a miniature pony.
Oh, you didn't? Oh my God.
But we hung out with them. We fed them, went fishing, pet some ducks, some chickens, all that good stuff. Austin stuff, right? Austin is weird.
Yeah.
So
I've only been to Austin once. I liked it. I'm a little like just still trying to get oriented. I was telling Nick before the call, I did this workout this morning with my wife and it was pretty brutal. So I'm still like, I'm a little dazed from it. You ever do, I don't know. Do they do this?
Right? Huh? You're at the gym, right?
Yeah, at the gym. Do you do, do you in CrossFit, do they do like pulses as part of the workouts?
Yeah,
they do
all kinds of
okay, because today we had like you had to hold this bar over your shoulders and then get down in a squat and just pulse for 55 seconds, and it was freaking brutal.
Yep, you're gonna be probably feeling that tomorrow, my friend.
I'm already feeling it right now. Yeah. Awesome. I hope everybody's having a good week so far. Don't forget, for all you sharks out there that are married, Valentine's Day, Monday. If you haven't got flowers, better get it in gear.
Man,
better get it in
that's
gear.
A good reminder. Appreciate that. That reminder.
Good reminder. Good reminder. So what's been happening? I know you went from New York down to Austin. What's kind of been happening in the agency though?
All kinds of stuff. It's interesting. We had a couple of clients lately because my role right now is really just CEOing, right? Checking in with people, kind of making sure everything is kind of doing what it should be, looking for new revenue opportunities, making new business partnerships, and that's pretty much what it is. And a lot of people that are familiar with our business and our business model, right? We have a remote business. It's out in Hawaii. Tom and I are here, or I'm here. Austin, Tom's in Las Vegas. And so, we have chosen to spend a portion, and I say a small portion, on the agency side of things. And so that small portion right now is really allocated to CEO stuff. Like I said, looking for new revenue opportunities. Right now, it's like, hey, I think we should go after this niche. Can project manager, assistant, copywriter, can you guys get together and create some ads, set them up, and start going after this industry? Something like that, right? So we have that going on. Then, of course, we're doing all the day to day with all of our client stuff. We had a couple of fires recently where we had one client we were running ads for on Google that got a call from their competitor that said that they were upset because we were running ads for their brand name. And so they did like a search for their brand, right? And they saw our ads coming up for, and so they didn't like that. And then they called us and they were like, hey, that's like, that should not be allowed, or they were pissed off. And they called us and they were like, they had a complaint. They want us to stop. And I was like, well, do you want us to stop? Like, why should we stop? I mean, if we show up and we get some of the market share, is that really that bad? I mean, isn't that what competition is? Anyway, they decided they wanted to turn it off. So we started blocking those keywords the other day. I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah, that's interesting. And so you're not going to be running ads against the competitors because he wants to stop?
They specifically asked us to blacklist the competitor search terms, and we go after the competitor search terms sometimes because, I mean, it's a viable traffic source, right? If you're looking for,
and also it's like, that's a standard, like that's good practice if you're running ads.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I mean, you should be going after your competitors' keywords, not only their keywords, but if you show up for their brand, and especially if they're using a generic brand like, Maui Roofing Company. Well, of course, you're going to show up for Maui Roofing Company. If you're another roofing company, they can't complain about that. But yeah, I think it's, there's a reason there are more than one ad space on each page of Google. And it's beyond just Google making as much money as possible. It's because there's room for competition.
Yeah, well, I would say if you hired Google to automatically run your ads for you like people do, they would show them for your competitors.
Yeah,
like they themselves would put them up there. Like it's not like you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's funny.
Agreed.
That's so funny. Well, interesting. Awesome. I'm gonna get to the shark shout outs here in a second, but I saw there's a good question from Bruce. Bruce wanted to know, how long did it actually take you and I to go from startup to being CEO status? It's been a journey, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we've been doing. Yeah, I mean, let's see. So we started Offline Sharks in 2016, right? As that business has grown, I know, like, you've kind of like, that was really that's really what fueled you, I think, to want to get away from the agency, right? Was like having a big chunk of your time in the agency and a big chunk of your time at Offline Sharks it's a lot, right? It's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a lot.
So, setting up the systems and systematizing the agency and all that stuff were, I wouldn't say like out of necessity, but maybe like just out of sanity, right? Like there's a lot of benefits that go with it too, right? I mean, now you have this business that kind of runs itself, but it's taken a few years. Like, I mean, it's only been within the last, I'd say 2 years probably, that you've been like able to just sort of like really step away from it, and it kind of goes.
Yeah, I think it can happen pretty quickly. For us, it was, and we have like multiple businesses, right? We have Offline Sharks, we have Remote Millionaires, we have our agencies. I think it can happen a lot sooner for people. It really comes down to getting clear on what the definition of a CEO is for you and your business, because it could be different. CEOs do different things in different industries, in different businesses and different business models. And, I think it starts out at the beginning with when you're not just working by yourself, when you actually have a team, because if you have a team, then you're able to delegate, and when you're actually able to start delegating, that's when you have different departments, right? You can start behaving like an executive officer. You can have a operation, start doing operational things. You can have different managers doing different manager things. I have a YouTube video that I did about the organization of, my agency. I think I did one on Offline Sharks too. And we just kind of show the organization, right? CEO, operations, project management. If you haven't seen that video, you might want to go check it out. It's on my YouTube channel. And then all of the managers for each department, whether it's like in the agency side, could be like the web design department, ad department, whatever the fulfillment is, those are usually kind of departments. And then each department has a manager, or they're all the same manager. And once you have some people like that to help you with those things, then you can actually start behaving what I think and consider in an agency is the role that a CEO should be, which is looking for new revenue growth opportunities. That could be through different funnels and niches, like the things that I explained at the beginning, how to get more clients, building a sales team, identifying the ways that you want to prospect. Those are the ones, or those are the ways that you can start to get a better idea of what that would look like. And so for Bruce's question, and I know this because I was on our Remote Millionaires training yesterday with Bruce. Bruce, I would venture to say that you're actually probably pretty close. You already have clients, you already have stuff that you're selling, you already have a lot of the moving parts, right? And it really comes down to just getting a little bit more of a team together, and it could really just be one solid project manager to help you be the go-between, or to help be the go-between from your clients and your fulfillment teams. And at that point, you're able to delegate and really just kind of be a CEO.
Yeah. And I do want to say for people on here that maybe are just, getting their legs under them with their agency or learning the process or whatever, that, the model that Nick's talking about, like, again, we didn't just spring forth with all that. It's been a process, right? So for a lot of people in the beginning, having when we talk about a team, just having an appointment setter and a VA, or an appointment setter and someone that does the fulfillment of the services that you're offering, can be life-changing. Like, that drastically changes your business life, just having those two things. You don't need a team of, you don't need a huge team to drastically alter your business life. Like, just those two things usually can make a pretty big dent in it. And I want to kind of tie this back to what we're going to talk about in the show, which was, doubling your income, right? And because I think, what's interesting about that subject of doubling your income is Nick and I used to have this, I don't know, like, we thought, when we did the first couple 100,000, especially when we got to 500,000, like, when we were going to hit our, when we were looking to go from 500,000 to $1 million, we kind of had this idea that, like, we had to do something different to get there. Like, it was going to be some new big thing that got us there. And, like, it turns out it wasn't. Like, we didn't really add anything new to get from 500 to $1 million. We refined the processes of the things we were already doing. And those things got better and more profitable, right? As we analyze, like, okay, here's what we're doing here. Here's how we can do this better. Here's how we can do this quicker. Here's how we can get, the people on our team to be able to do more in less time. Here's how we can increase our profit margins for these different services by systematizing, right? So, and I think really the thing we kind of want to get across to you in the show is that, doubling your income, getting to those next levels, really isn't going to be a process of finding something new, right? Like, there's not some new thing out there that's just all of a sudden going to double your income. It's going to be you putting in the work, the effort to build up the things you're already doing, get consistent with them, and then grow those things over time.
Yeah, that's a good way to outline it. I think a lot for the agency owner, for like the everyday agency owner, it really comes down, like, you only have so many ways that you can double your business. There really are only a couple of things that you can do. If you think about it, right? You can raise your prices, you can get more customers, get new customers, and you can sell more things to the same people. Like how else are you gonna get more revenue other than those three things? Does anybody know? Are there any other ways that I'm missing?
No, we're talking about, we talked about this in a remote millionaires coaching call. I talked about this because this is the Abrams thing. Only 3 ways to grow your business.
Did I hit every one of them, or am I missing one? Did I use a different one?
No, you hit all of them because you can increase the number of customers you have, you can increase what you charge, and you can increase the frequency. That's it. That's the only 3 ways.
Okay.
The only 3.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
I feel pretty good
So
now.
you can either, that's it. That's it. He's talked about that for a long time. There's only 3 ways to grow any business, and that's the way you do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when you look at when you look at some of the things that you put in place, when we talked about in the email about how not adding new services, not adding new clients, but still being able to double your income. Well, what would that look like? Like what's kind of a little blueprint for that? Well, here's one thing. So let's say that you offer websites as a service, right? We can use websites as an example here. So you're already doing websites, right? So a couple of things. One is you can streamline your process. So website builds and the things you do take less time and increase your profit margins, right? The other thing you can do is start to refine your process and add additional things onto those website builds, right? So, maybe you start doing more creating custom graphics. Maybe you're adding other things. Maybe you're, offering maintenance and things like that, right? You're still doing the same thing. You're still providing websites. You're still doing the same service, right? But you're refining the process and you're finding other ways to bring in new revenue based on what you're already doing, right? The other way to do that is to just, again, streamline those processes so you're more efficient in what you're doing.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. I mean, efficiency is definitely a thing. If you're and a lot of you will relate to this because Tom and I certainly did. If you're busy in the beginning, which most of you are, building, like getting website clients and then building the actual website, well, there's an opportunity cost there, right? If you're always building the websites, then you can't be going and looking for new clients or talking to new clients. You have that operational cost or the opportunity cost there. Whereas if you hire somebody to help you build those websites, well, then that frees you up. Now you have to give somebody some portion of your income or, some portion of your margin in order to get them to do that. But, the whole point is to give them enough that it makes sense for you to continue to do it, right? So you charge a premium, they get a piece of it. They don't have to find a new customer. You just come to give them a new customer. So you basically give them a service by doing that. And then that allows you to do these other things that are important, which are, like we always talk about, the revenue producing activities. Those of you that have the Shark Treasure Chest will have some instruments available to you in helping to stay on track with your revenue producing activities. But yeah, you're right. The efficiency that you can operate in is massive, and you can always optimize that. I mean, even till this day, I think when other like e-learning companies see what Tom and I are doing at Offline Sharks, and they hear, how we operate, or maybe we even work together in some extent, they're always like, we get feedback from people about the efficiency that we do things, the systems that we have, the way that we do automation and all that. And we still continue to do that till this day. We still continue to optimize.
Yeah. And it's interesting. I was just talking so I have a friend here who is the operations manager for an agency. They do SEO and online marketing for medical companies. And they're a seven-figure agency. And he's recently a new hire to that agency as the operations person. It was the CEO was doing a lot of that stuff before. So he was telling me last night how he started in last August, and since he's gradually taken over the running of that business, it's freed up time for the CEO to kind of go, oh, well, maybe he's been able to focus his attention on other things. And so yesterday they closed a new client. It was a $500,000 contract. Bam, one client, right? Like now they're in the medical niche, and they're dealing with people that are dealing with billing and stuff like that. So a very specialized thing, but like that's revenue that couldn't have been generated if the processes and things weren't in place, right? And it wasn't, they didn't do anything different, right? Just the same thing they've been doing, but interesting. Hey, real quick, before I forget, I want you guys to go over and leave some good mojo and vibes for the people at our shoutouts post. And we're going to get to the shoutouts here in just a second. Go to offlinesharks.com, shoutouts, do that. We're going to give away some Cash App money at the end. But I wanted to go through some of these questions. So Marvin, who, by the way, if you're an AGM member and you did not attend this past Wednesday's AGM coaching call where we hot seated Marvin, it's in your members area. It's in the coaching calls. You should go listen to it. It was awesome. It was an awesome training. People in the comments are saying it was one of the best AGM calls we've had. And so you should go check it out. It was really, really good. But Marvin wanted to know, how do you see the competitors' keywords? How do you guys do it, Nick? Do you use like SpyFu or some tool like that?
Yeah, you can do competitor analysis using these various tools. SpyFu, I think in that case that we had there, the actual competitor was the person that found out that we were advertising on, for some of their terms. SpyFu, there's another tool. I think you can actually find some of it in Google Ads platform itself too. I'm drawing a blank on this other tool that it's called iSpionage, I think.
Oh yeah, iSpionage is one. Yeah.
And so, yeah, I heard about Marvin's training too, though. There's been a lot, like I've heard from multiple people now and that was only like 2 days ago, about how awesome how that training was. So yeah.
Yeah, it was really great. One thing though, Marvin, just to make sure that I'm clear on what you're asking. So tools like SpyFu, iSpionage, even I think like SEMrush, Ahrefs may do this. I don't know. I mean, it's a pretty common thing in a lot of SEO and paid ad tools, but those tools will go and tell you like what keywords other people are targeting. But what we're specifically talking about here is, let's say that, Nick used the roofing example. So let's say that there's a business in Maui and it's called Maui Roofing. Well, we could target that specific keyword, right? We could target Maui Roofing and have our ads show up whenever somebody types in Maui Roofing. So that's what we're talking about here when we talk about competitor keywords. Nick was running ads targeting their brand name, right? Their company name. So you use their company name as the keywords, and then whenever somebody searches their company name, your business shows up. So it's a pretty standard practice. There's nothing illegal about it. It's not black hat. It's not, I mean, it's standard practice, right? So
no, and we were talking about this a lot yesterday on the Remote Millionaires training. Competitor analysis is massive, with digital with any marketing, right? All marketing, even just, old school direct marketing that's not even digital. Competitor analysis is huge. It's huge in running ads. It's huge in doing SEO. It's huge in building your website. You want to know what your competition is doing. And it's not, it's not to be evil, right? Like it's to know what's in the market. You're a competitor, right? That's what competition is. You want to do whatever it is that you're trying to do better than the other person that's in the same industry as you. And so, yeah, I mean, we start with competitive analysis. And actually, there's another tool that we've been beta testing. I'm not going to say the name right now because it hasn't been released yet. But yeah, there is a tool that we have been beta testing that helps with the competitor analysis. So I'll keep you posted on that. But it helps with the competitor analysis. It also helps with the finding out what times of day all of your competitors' ads run. So if you think about like bringing a competitor to the market running ads, and you can look for the keywords, right? What competitors are running what, but at what hours of the day are these ads running to? And so if you can find various hours of the day in specific areas where these ads aren't being run, well, then you have virtually no competition. So there is this tool that is it's already built. It's not ours. It's a friend of ours, but we are beta testing it before we bring it out and share it with everybody. We just want to make sure it works, like everything else that we promote. But yeah, if that sounds interesting to anybody, please let me know in the chat. I definitely want to know how many people are running ads, and if that's a really valuable tool, then that'd be good to get that feedback.
Yeah, awesome. And April,
it's valuable for us. I mean,
April, we can see your name, just so you know. We can see it.
Hey, April.
And by the way, like if you miss the AGM call, we always put those recordings inside your Agency Growth Machine members area. And so Marvin was on this past Wednesday. So those calls happen the second Wednesday of every month. And next in March, on the second Wednesday, we're going to be doing a hot seat with Randy Bett. So that will be really, really awesome as well. So I want to make sure you hit those up.
Yeah, and if you haven't seen any of Randy's recent wins, go to the Facebook and look up the hashtag win. He's got like new clients coming in every other day. You know, he's kicking ass.
Yeah, let me actually, speaking of shout outs, let's do some shout outs. Let me get everything set up here. Okay, all right. Okay, all right. Are we ready? Are we ready? All right, here we go. Let's see. Let me share my screen. How do I? Oh, there we go. Okay, we're going to share the screen. Okay, so every week we like to do shark shout outs, recognize people that close deals from the week before. We got a bevy, a whole school of sharks. Is that what is there a school of sharks? A school of sharks that closed deals this past week. So we're going to celebrate them. So let's start off with Isabel. So Isabel closed her first annual subscription for one of the things we brought to you guys not long, Review Pops. So she closed it. It was 420 euros for the entire year. So that's $481. Excellent job, Isabel.
It's a shiver of sharks, Tom.
What's that?
A shiver of sharks.
A shiver of sharks. Is that Isabel, is that the first time I've seen Isabel on the shout outs? She may be a shout out newcomer.
I think so.
Yeah. Awesome work. Awesome work, Isabel. Awesome. Let's see. Our next shout out goes to Devendra. So Devendra, so Hina's business partner, Nick, not this Nick, we're successful in partnering with a local charity to help them get funding using the microservice millionaire strategy from Dr. Ben Atkins. So congratulations, Devendra. That's awesome. Let's see. Jocelyn, our friend Jocelyn Wing, she created a new agency growth machine site 3 weeks ago, and she recently sold a featured listing $997 for the year, plus $1,000 a month for Google Business Profile Optimization. That is awesome. Cool. Yeah, so great. So great. Let's see. Mr. Cody Weaver. Cody closed a local real estate agent for social media management, $997 a month. 2 website builds, $2,800, plus Google Business Profile Management and PPC on a 6-month contract for a local painter at $500 a month, plus $1,200 for a website. And then Google Business Profile Management for a car salesman and Facebook ads at $840 a month. That's crushing it right there. That is great. Cody, that's awesome.
So what is that? That's like an additional $2,500 a month that he added to his bottom line, right?
Let's see, 1340, 24. Yeah, like 24. Yeah, like 24 a month. Yeah,
it's amazing.
So 48,000 for the year. Yeah, that's crazy. Mr. Marvin Drobes, who was on our call this past Wednesday, he sold a 3-page website to a referral. $2,500 plus directory setup and Google Business Profile setup for $1,500. And by the way, if you go and listen to the call Marvin did, Marvin actually walked us through his scripts and everything of how he handles the discovery calls to sell these things. Really, really good. Really, really good.
Super valuable.
And what he calls his takeaway thing. And this, I'm going to go ahead and share this. I'm going to go ahead and share this too. Oh, first I got to give Marvin some applause. But I want to share this because this just got me. We talk about revenue producing activities. We talk about doing whatever you need to do to go get your clients. Okay. So Nick, Marvin shared this story. He closed a website deal for a doctor. And this may be it. This may be the one that he's talking about here. So the way he got the doctor was he's been calling this doctor's office, reaching out to them, email, all that stuff. No response. Ghosting him. Nothing. So he called the doctor's office and scheduled a doctor's appointment with the doctor. And then when he got in for the appointment, the doctor was looking at his chart and was like, Marvin, like, it seems like you're healthy. Like, I'm not really sure why you're here. And he was like, well, the reason I'm here is because I've been trying to get a hold of you to talk to you about helping you with your website. And he did the whole pitch in the doctor's appointment, and the doctor signed up.
Wow.
He signed him up and then signed him up for a monthly. It was, I mean, what a great story, right?
That's pretty genius. I mean, that is the definition of a shark right there.
Yeah.
Right.
That was great. Yeah. So, yeah, anyway, that's just one of the stories Marvin shared, and a ton of other golden nuggets. So, anyway, congratulations, Marvin. JT got his first Rep Kahuna sale, $500.
Yes.
Always love it when you get the first sale. That's great. Randy Bett, who's going to be on our hot seat for next month's AGM call, he sold a 3-page car wash website, $999, rebuilding from old Squarespace site. Congratulations, Randy. And then our friend Bruce. So I saw this post in the Facebook group. This is really awesome. So Bruce met with a local chamber of commerce, right, to present a new website proposal and an AGM member site. So basically setting up an AGM site for the chamber, right? They decided on the AGM site, $150 a month plus non-dues revenue for the chamber of 50% of the premium listings. So they're going to help them solve that, right? Also, for all SEO projects from local clients, he'll donate the setup fee, which is normally $300, to a local charity of their choice. And then he received an email from a current client about another website they have that needs updating. So a meeting to discuss that. So I'm not sure how that went, Bruce. I hope that worked out, but awesome job. Two things there, a big strategic partnership, right, with the chamber. And then also, donating part of what you're doing to charity to help get that up. So great.
Yeah. And I mean, those like that charity deal is going to pay itself out in dividends, like the people that you help with that, it just draws so much attention. And then also being coupled with the Chamber of Commerce. I mean, there's just so much opportunity there. It's such a solid, and I was telling him this yesterday, like that is such a solid win for what he's doing. And overall, I mean, look at our shout outs this week, everybody. Like, I know a lot of people are trying to make their business grow and trying to get more wins. Some of you are trying to get wins for the first time. Some people might even have their doubts whether or not the digital marketing thing even works. But the whole reason we put these shout outs together is, I mean, we're gathering information from in our community on a weekly basis. And we just want everybody to know that this is a very real thing, right? It's not just Tom or me that have digital marketing agencies that are profitable, that allow us to have the, flexibility to travel and do all that stuff or spend more time with our family. It's a lot of other people too. It's not just us. This is a real verified business model from so many people. This community, there's a lot of successful people in it. And, for the new people, if you stick around, chances are you probably will be one of them.
Yeah. And that's a total, by the way, of $16,814 from just last week that Sharks closed in business with local marketing services. And one thing I want to mention too, because as I was looking at this list, you were talking about that, Nick, I remembered there was another post in the Facebook group. Somebody was talking about, the offers that we send, right? I get a lot of offers from offline sharks, and
I saw that one. Yep.
Yeah. So I want to point something out about the people on this page. Isabel, Review Pops. JT, Rep Kahuna. GMB stuff, SEO stuff, Chase Rayner, right? Bruce's things, that's all part of from the training of the micro millionaires from Dr. Ben Adkins, right? With the charity, like all different things, but they've been able to take those and generate income. And the reason I bring that up is because we totally understand that everybody's business is in a different place. And that's why we bring a lot of different stuff to our community, because everybody can do different things, right? Now, all of these people aren't doing all of these things. You can see each one has picked one thing and ran with it. That's what you should be doing, right? And, the only caveat, is that how caveat? Caveat. The only caveat, I couldn't talk there for a minute. The only caveat I would make to that is, I know we do spend a lot of time bashing on shiny object syndrome, but there is a period of time when shiny object syndrome is a good thing for you. And that is when you're trying to learn. When you're trying to learn a subject and you're trying to get your legs under and you don't know anything about it, like, you need to read and look into and study a lot of different things to understand what's going on. So, but, once you're at that point where you're going to go out and get clients and do those kinds of things, when you're ready to take that step and start doing the revenue producing activity and start putting, one foot in front of the other to get some clients and build a business, that's when you scale things back and you pick one thing and you go with that. Right. So I just want to point that out because, we have a pretty big group, right? We have a lot of people doing a lot of different stuff, and you will see people on these shout outs closing deals, doing all kinds of different things that we talk about in our community. And that doesn't mean that you need to go buy all those things. It just means, pick something and stick with it, right? Pick something, like pick one and run with it. And it should be a good example that, there is no one magic service. There is no one magic thing that's going to do it for you. You just have to pick something and take some action, and you can get some results. So I just wanted to share that.
No, it's true.
Also, go ahead, Nick.
No, I was just going to say that, it really is true. Like, yeah, we promote stuff. I mean, that's part of our business model. We're not saying that everybody needs to buy everything. You should only buy stuff that you have the time for, for, and
what you're doing.
And it fits in what you're doing, and the stuff that, we put out there, and we promote, look, it works, but it works for these folks that are doing it because they are holding themselves accountable to actually doing it. If they're going to buy something, they're going to make sure that they have time to execute on it, or they make the time to execute on it. And so, that's a big piece of it, right? And how they're doing that a lot of the time is they're coming to the group and talking about it. They're getting accountable from other members of the group. They're sharing their wins. They're asking questions. They have this other community other than themselves that they can be held accountable with, and, be around like-minded people. And that's what the Offline Sharks Facebook group is all about. So yeah, I mean, if that's you and you're struggling, you got a lot of good ideas sitting on your computer, on your hard drive, you're having a hard time executing, then maybe just, make a commitment in the group, go to the Facebook group and say, hey, I need help. Hold me accountable, guys. This is what I'm going to do. I plan to call this many businesses, or I plan to open up this course and get familiar with this type of strategy over the next week. I need some help, check in on me in a week. And I bet you'll get a lot of feedback from the community.
Yeah. And by the way, we have tons. I mean, there's a lot of free stuff in Offline Sharks as well that will give you the information you need to learn about things, and also a lot of inexpensive things as well. The Shark Alliance with the Pack to Six Figures. I mean, that thing's only like $47 a month, and it covers everything from how to get your business set up to how to outsource to what services to do to what foot in the door. It's literally the roadmap, right, of what we did in 12 levels. So not expensive at all, right? So, I think what Nick said is right on. Set some goals, pick some things, and then just make that commitment to take some actions. So that's a grand total, by the way, of $78,212 since the start of 2022. We're getting close to 100K. Got to do it. And of course, Dorn has his own advice on what to do. He said, Boulder Dash, just buy everything. Dorn, you crack me up. Okay, awesome. So let's see. I'm going to stop sharing my screen here. All right, let's look down. Hold on. I'm going to look over here on our document here. Because, every week, Shushan on our team, she puts together a list of questions to answer on the live show. And every week we ignore them. And
But we always have so much good stuff going on. We take the questions in the actual chat first.
I know, but like I feel bad for Shashan because she's putting all this stuff together, and then we're just like, we just kind of do our thing. So, and there's another example of getting systemized, right? Like when we started this live show, it was just Nick and I talking. Now we have like show notes and we have a process. And anyway, so I want to take a couple of these questions here. So
here's one question, Tom.
Okay, so
here's one. This is just a quick one. Somebody was asking if seeing a competitor, will the tool tell you the success level of those ads? Not really. It'll tell you, I mean, somewhat. It'll tell you how much they're paying for those ads, like what the cost per click is. And so, yeah, you're not going to be able to know like how many sales that brings in, but you're going to be able to make an informed decision based off of how many people are going to be competing for the same amount of eyeballs as you are, which is going to be a much more price significant in pricing of your advertising. If I give you 2 times to show ads, I give you 2 options. You can show your ads when everybody else is showing your ads, or you can show your ads by yourself, and people are still going to see them. Which one do you take? You're going to take the one by yourself because you're going to get more eyeballs. And so, it's a little more than just that, right? There are a lot of variables there.
Yeah. And okay, so here I wanted to, I think this is a great question. So Muhammad wants to know, what are the most unrealistic client expectations you've received and how have you tackled them? This is a good one.
That's hilarious. Okay, I have a good one. I actually have a great one because this one was like a couple days ago. I don't know. No, this was like probably a month ago because I know we took them on as a client too. So this customer had they were unrealistic, yes, but it wasn't like they knew they were unrealistic. So that's that, right? That's one piece of it. The other piece of it is they are very ambitious, right? So this company is a new startup company. And some of you may have seen, because I did share this with Remote Millionaires, the sales call where I closed with this company who is a new startup drop shipping company. Usually don't take on these types of clients because they're difficult to figure out their business model for them. But I set the expectation, and that's what this question comes down to. So this is a drop shipping company that has like 500 eco-friendly products from like all these different brands. And they have this website and they want to just start selling, right? They're a reseller, they're a drop shipping company. They don't even have their own product, but they built this beautiful website, e-commerce website, Shopify website, and they have no traffic. And so the business owner was like, we heard that you can help us, or we found out that you can help us, blah, blah, blah. We found you. And they were like, we want you to take us to $1 million a month company. And I was like, I love it. That's great. But first you need to make $1,000 at least. Like you're not even there yet. So and I was like, so basically I said that, right? That's what I said. I said, I think there's certainly that possibility you could grow your business into that. It's going to come down to a lot more than just us running your ads. There's going to be a lot that you have to do on your end. You're going to have to build a successful, healthy business. When you get to $50,000 a month, your infrastructure might have to change. You might have to hire more people. You might have to do different things. Like there's a lot that goes on. So when I hear an unrealistic expectation, usually I just tell people straight up, like, based off of experience of what I've seen, like what you should expect. It's never good to let a business have that unrealistic expectation, especially if you plan on working with them, because you're just setting yourself up to have some difficult situations that you need to deal with. What about you, Tom?
Man, gosh.
Tom just like lets that go in one ear and out the other. He like chooses to forget it so he doesn't have to give up any of his bandwidth for it.
I do. I mean, I don't know that I've really had.
Sometimes we hear that with like offline sharks too, right? Sometimes we hear that with people.
We hear offline sharks. With the agency side too, though, like when somebody comes to me with what I think is an unrealistic expectation, like I tend to just talk to them about it and and try to shape them into, something more realistic. But sometimes you're just way off, right? Like if it's just way off, then I just tell them, hey, like, look, this, this doesn't work out, right? Because sometimes people think, even with like the mailers, people would think, oh, you're going to send out 10,000 of those. Like, I'm going to get a flood of, people in. It's like, you got to curb those expectations. Like, it doesn't work like that, right? Like, even on a 10,000 mailer, like, a few hundred is a grand slam, but for most businesses, they're probably going to get anywhere from 5 to 10.
You know what I find that it's a I don't know what the exact wording for this is. It's easier to meet expectations for businesses that are already existing. Just if you think about marketing in general, digital marketing, doesn't matter what really it is, but the strategy of putting stuff out there to get more clients, or more customers, or more sales, or more attention. It's always easier to add marketing to a already moving ship, like the example of the drop shipping company. Like they have all these products, right? They have no idea which one of those is going to catch from doing Google ads. They have no idea, and they also have to remember that the people that are manufacturing those products and creating those products have their own websites. They're also selling those products, and there are other people selling those products. So why are they going to go through you? Are they going to get a cheaper price? Are they going to get a different experience? Are they going to get a different product? You have to figure all that out, and if those kinds of clients come to you and they're like, hey, we want you to figure it out with your ads, it's going to take you a lot longer to figure that out. You're going to have months where you're not profitable. Their expectations need to be set from day one, which what I did in that situation was I said, hey, it's going to take us time to figure out what your winners are. And on the other side of that is if you come to me with 3 winners and they're already selling all the time, but you're not doing any marketing, and we add marketing to that, I mean, we can knock it out of the park because we know what people want. We know the price is accepted by the market. We just need to add the stuff in that you're not doing, which we know works. And it's a lot easier, So it's whenever you have those types of customers that are on deck and you're talking to them, remember that, you're going to have so much less of an uphill battle if you're talking to somebody that has a healthy business. They already have products that people love. They just haven't brought it on to, digital, or they haven't optimized it in the ways that we know how to optimize it. But, if they have those kinds of winning offers already, you're going to go a lot further and not really have to deal with that.
Yeah, that's such a good point. And in copywriting, a lot of the really big name copywriters talk about the way they got to be big names was selecting the right clients to work with.
Mm-hmm.
Like a client that's got like a good thing and it's like, oh, they're just missing some elements that they can add in, but yeah, that's
a lot of people don't even take on those kinds of customers, because they're more work, and sometimes they don't work out. Sometimes you have to be the person to say, hey, look, I can't figure this out for you. Go sell your stuff and come back to me when you have some stuff that we can actually sell for you,
Yeah.
And nobody wants to be that person. A lot of people, I usually don't take on those kinds of clients either because they're a bigger headache, but I like the mission behind this company. I like the vision. I like the people that were a part of it. So I decided to take it on, but it was all about handling the expectation.
Yeah. Well, and when you say the unrealistic expectations we see in Offline Sharks, like, yeah, we do get that a lot, right? Like the version of that for people trying to start a business is, they ask you for advice on what to do to get started and you tell them, and then their next response is, but how will that work with 100 clients? And you're like, well, how about we get 1 client first? Right? Like, let's not worry about whether this is going to work with 100 until we're like on our way there. Like, let's just get 1. Like, anyway, don't get me started on that, Nick.
No, it is. It's, I think it's all right though. Like we see a lot of, I think in the e-learning space where you buy products and stuff like that, there's a lot of marketing out there that is pretty extreme. And it generally, people are very skeptical of it. And so they should be. Tom is, people over promising on different things that they've probably never done before and whatever it is that they sell. It has people conditioned to believe that they can get 10 clients within 30 seconds without doing anything, blindfolded, asleep. People are just conditioned that way because of the shit
Yeah.
that everybody sees online. And I get it, and that hopefully is like where things change when people join our community, is like when we lead by the only stuff we give or we sell or promote, is stuff that we do, like, AGM, right? We're actively doing AGM. Our last product that we did came out of our agency, and so
And our next
when
one.
we,
Yeah.
and our next one,
Yeah.
and our next one. So yeah, it's not unrealistic because it's actually living proof. But again, people get conditioned by these unrealistic expectations in the e-learning space because there are some fraudsters out there, unfortunately.
Yeah. Hey, a couple of things we need to do before we run out of time here. One is every week we like to celebrate somebody who is a good steward of the Offline Sharks community inside the Facebook. We call it Member of the Week. And I want to give a big shout out. By the way, the Member of the Week receives, hear all that goodness in there? One of these Offline Sharks treasure chest swag boxes. Really awesome. And yeah. So, by the way, if you're waiting for a swag box, they should. I know we have some coming in. We had a little lull, so we didn't forget about you. You will get them. And all right, so here we go. I'm gonna share our screen. Our Member of the Week this week is Mr. Cody Weaver. So Cody crushed it this week, securing new clients that needed his service. You heard that on the shout outs. It was awesome. Congratulations, Cody. You guys leave Cody some good mojo, some love in this thread. Congratulations. Somebody from our team will reach out so we can get that swag box into you. Treasure chest. You're going to love it. That's a great picture for Valentine's Day too. Yeah. We were Valentine's Day themed and we didn't even know it, Nick.
Yeah.
That's
a great Valentine's Day picture.
Yeah. Hey, also too, if you've been following our emails this week, we have been talking about a course and a product about setting up an automatic agency. And this is really about just being a person that not really even does the sales part. I don't know if I want to say that, but like, you generate the business and then you have these other companies that do all the fulfillment. So you basically just pass off the client to them and they do it. And so you're kind of like a middle person in the deal, but a really effective strategy. And if you want to check that out, we put together a special bonus package for it. You can just go to offlinesharks.com/automatic-bonus. It's not expensive. It's a special deal just for our community. We threw some shark bonuses in there to really kind of chum the water. So you guys will love it. Go to offlinesharks.com/automatic-bonus. You can check that out. There was one other thing I wanted to do here, Nick. Hold on. What was it? Okay, we got that. We got that. Oh, you know what we should do? We should do.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money.
Dollar, dollar. Dollar, dollar. Ching, ching, bling, bling, got the chatter. You ain't talking money, then you're talking no matter.
Yeah, some Cash App money.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's do the two members that made comment on our shout outs this week. So we had our post. Tom announced it at the beginning of the live stream. If you weren't here at the beginning of the live stream, you want to be here next week at the beginning of the live stream. And we just pick a couple of people at random who do give a shout out, a comment to our post that we made with the comments or with the shout outs of the week. So our two winners are Tony Osborne and Michael Howard. Congratulations, fellas.
Tony Osborne, Michael Howard, congratulations. And also, too, I don't know if you know this, but sometimes we do these weekly challenges. We have a weekly challenge going on in the shark group right now. It's the first shark to contact 25 potential prospects by phone and post proof in the Facebook group. We'll get a special reward. So are you up for the challenge? If you're up for the challenge, do it. And a couple of other things before we kind of wrap up today. We do have some awesome stuff headed your way. So I mentioned we do have a new course that's going to be coming out here at the beginning of March. We're putting some finishing touches up on that. You guys are going to love it. It again, like Nick said, it's something that we do in our agency, and it's really great if you're struggling with credibility, right? Like not being able to get any client. Like this strategy is killer if you've been struggling with that. So you guys are going to love that. We also have in the works, I was just recording some intros and outros before we hopped on here, a new podcast that's coming your way. You'll be hearing more about that as well. So yeah, lots of great stuff happening behind the scenes here at Offline Sharks. As always, we love to see your guys' feedback, your contributions and all that stuff inside the Facebook group. Keep that up. It's awesome to watch the community grow and all the wins and just everybody helping each other out. That was it. Your turn, Nick.
Oh, well, yeah. I was like, are you passing to me now? Are you passing to me?
Did you get the question to everybody? The question on everybody's mind. Did you get your barbecue?
Oh man, I did. Do you want to see a picture? I posted it on my Insta story.
Yeah, Miranda said she was laughing at your post on my way to get barbecue. Oh my God, that looks so good.
All the goodies. I mean, I'm going to gain a lot of weight while I'm here. What can I say?
Man, that looks really good. I haven't had barbecue in a while.
Dorn keeps asking about the bat bridge visit. So, Dorn, I went to the bridge. I don't think there are any bats out right now, though. But I did go to the bridge.
Nice. All right. Well, look, it's been an amazing Shark Live show. We've enjoyed having you guys here. Hope you had fun. Great interaction. Great questions. Thanks to the team for getting everything ready, making this show awesome. Thanks for you for showing up and being a part of it. If you have any questions about anything or you need us for any reason, you can either ask them in the Facebook group or you can hit us up at our support desk, offlinesharks.com/support. I don't know what I'm going to do today. They lifted the mask mandate here yesterday. So I'm probably just going to go run around town and go to a bunch of stores without a mask on. I don't know. I'm not sure.
I think you should just go to the casino and start like sneezing everywhere.
The casino now. Oh yeah, no mask in the casino anymore. Yeah, interesting. So
you're
awesome.
Probably your poker conversions are probably going to go down quite a bit.
Yeah, now that people can see my face. I don't know. Is this a good poker face?
Yeah.
I don't know if I.
Get your hands.
Or I usually do this. Yes. That always gets people. That's awesome. Well, look, a really great show. Thanks again for hanging out with us. We will see you here next Friday. Same Shark time, same Shark channel. Stay safe out there, everybody. Practice Aloha. We'll see you next Friday.
Ready?
Wrong one.
You've been listening to the Sharks Live Show, your weekly marketing jam session. Always bringing you the latest strategies and tactics to build your remote business from anywhere in the world. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this stream. You can stay up to date throughout the week with Nick's YouTube videos at nickponte.com/YouTube and Tom's podcast at tomgaddis.com. We'll be back here next Friday for another Sharks Live Show. Until then, aloha.